Alright, let's go ahead and look at our weekly checks. So we have our unit selected for engine 91. It's going to be a continuous shift since I was already in there doing the daily check today. Keep in mind that our weekly checks are still going to require us to do inventory and par levels and the counts of everything, so we're still going to be doing our inventory tab on our weeklies. To do what those gray boxes are on those clipboards that we're currently using, we're going to go under the inspections and we're going to hit the weekly check for engine 91. With today being Tuesday, the engine isn't a weekly check, it's the medic unit, but we can still go in there and click it right now. It's just not required. The answers for the weekly checks do not transfer shift to shift. These are going to require us to go down and actually hit yes or no there's an issue. But just like the daily, it's a quick tap. And if there is an issue and we hit no, we type in whatever we want over here. And when we hit submit, this is still going to generate that email out to the person it needs to go to give them a heads up that there is something wrong. If it's a proper defect, we still need to fill out a defect report and have that submitted. Most of these things are what we look at anyways when it comes to doing our weekly checks. The main idea, like I said in the last video, is to get our faces out of these clipboards and away from computer screens and actually check these apparatus to make sure that they're good to go for the crews. So here's Medic 91. I was already in here messing around with it, so that's why it's green, otherwise it would be red. And that's why the answers are already there. But it's simple. It's yes, I cleaned it, yes, the equipment's there, it's good to go, and it's in good working form. At the bottom, it's a reminder that the SCBA checks aren't completed under this weekly check of the medic unit. It's going to be under the inspection tab under the SCBA checks. So nothing actually has to get filled in into either of these boxes. To complete the SCBA check for the weekly, we're going to click on there, we're going to put in whatever today's date is, and then whatever shift we are. Right now I believe it's A1. And then who's actually checking it. I can do a type in, or I can take it, and this will just scroll up and down for me, just like every other box that's in operative IQ. What apparatus is getting checked, and what the pack number is. So we could just say medic unit, without knowing the numbers off the top of my head, is 21-2. Then whatever cylinder we're actually filling it out, what the PSI level's at. Let's say that one is at 4500, and the display is reading between 44 and 45. Are my hoses, regulators, harness, and straps, everything else looking good on it? Battery level, because they're always at 1/2, right? And if there's any other issues. If there is an issue with one of them, you know, this strap's looking pretty frayed. I'm going to note that it's looking frayed over there on the right shoulder. When I hit submit, another email is generated out to the appropriate person so we can start looking at that as a problem. As a reminder again, this does not take the place of filling out a defect report. I would hit submit, and then I go back in, get ready to do the next pack. And I do that for each of the packs on whatever apparatus that I'm checking. And if you wanted to, you could have two people logged in, all clicking on the weekly SCBA check underneath whatever unit, fill them out at the exact same time. Whatever's going to make it easier. And that's it for doing any type of the weekly checks. This should also be a little bit of a no-brainer. There might be a couple extra questions on here. Feel free to reach out and ask away.